Your body is not a structure. First of all, the mind is everywhere, but the second is your body is not a structure. You know, when we think of this, we say this is a structure, right? But even this is not a structure, it's a process. If you go to the level of subatomic particles, this is a very dynamic process right now. But your body is definitely not a structure. It's not a noun, it's a verb. And there's nothing in the universe that's a noun. Nouns are conventions of language. They are not expressions of truth, because there is nothing in the universe that stands still, even for a second. Okay? So your body is dynamic, it's in exchange with all the elements and forces of the universe, and this happens through eating, breathing, digestion, metabolism, elimination, how we experience the world through our five senses, sound, touch, sight, taste, smell. That's where Ayurveda comes in, because we use these modalities to change biological expression. But then there's a whole realm of experience which is subjective, which is trans-empirical, which means it's not experienced through the senses. Empiricism means experience through the senses and measurable. But there's a whole realm of experience that is subjective. Okay, our thoughts, our feelings, our desires, our imagination, insight, intuition, creativity, all of that, the deepest level of subjectivity, for which science, by the way, has no explanation, how the brain produces subjective experience. We call that the hard problem in science. But you know, you close your eyes and you suddenly become aware of all this thing that's happening in your subjectivity, and that influences everything that's happening in the body. Today, it's possible to do a little bit of mathematical calculations based on what are called radioactive isotope studies. And you can prove without a shadow of doubt that right this moment, you have 1 million atoms that were once in the body of Jesus Christ, or Buddha, or anyone you want to think about. In just the last 3 weeks, 1 quadrillion atoms have gone through your body that have gone through the body of every other living species on this planet. So think of a tree in Africa, a squirrel in Siberia, a taxi driver in Calcutta. You have stuff in your body that was there only 3 weeks ago. Okay. In less than 1 year, you recycle now. We used to think it was 5-7 years. In less than 1 year, you recycle 98% of all the matter in your body. So at the atomic molecular level, you have a new liver every 6 weeks, a new stomach lining every 5 days, new skin once a month, a new skeleton. It seems so hard, but a skeleton is a dynamic organ with calcium, phosphorus, everything coming and going. And by the end of 1 year, you replace almost all your body, 98%, few bits of collagen and cartilage, which take a little longer turnover. So this body that Satish invited is my 2011 model. And the last time I came, I brought with me the same suitcase, but not the same physical body. Okay. I brought, my suitcase has a little longer shelf life than my physical body. So, you know, this raises a big question in science today. Who are you? If you think you're your physical body, then you have a bit of a problem. Which one are you talking about? Okay. So while my physical body has recycled from the ecosystem, it's part of the biosphere, the unfortunate word, environment, while it's recycled, and you know, my personal body from year 2010 is dead, it's gone. I haven't died in the meanwhile, so I hope you agree this is scientific proof for the existence of life after death, because our consciousness is constantly outliving the death of the molecules through which it expresses itself. It's doing it right now. You don't need further proof of reincarnation. These are reincarnated cells, okay? These weren't there a month ago, but they remember the difference between hot and cold and pleasure and pain. It's the memory that's reincarnating. Okay, it's the memory. It's always reincarnating as this physical body. So let's go a little deeper. You go look at these molecules that are recycling. You see their atoms, and then you look at the atoms, and they're subatomic particles, and they're all coming from an emptiness. And that's where the real action is, that emptiness. Now, today scientists call the quantum vacuum of the universe, which isn't disappeared. It's right there. If that wasn't active, you and I wouldn't be here. Okay, the quantum vacuum didn't disappear with the Big Bang. It just started a whole series of activities that are still going on, but the quantum vacuum of physics is there right this moment, and you and I and everything exists because it's there. That's what scientists call it. But you look at the poetry of Rumi 700 years ago, he says, we come spinning out of nothingness, scattering stars like dust. He says, look at these worlds spinning out of nothingness. This is within your power.